Stromatolite, who are presenting tomorrow, and today are running some workshops upstairs in the Hacker on Q, with a new system for searching and licensing music. And we have also been able to partner with Q in terms of investigating further what can be done in this landscape. And so what I'm about to show you is a few of those experiments which are hopefully going to unravel some new ways in which you can do things. So what we've done is we've actually looked at, well, our take on this has been to look at what does it mean, what does the digital music format mean for a track? Most tracks are still done to the length of 3.5, 4 minutes. This is a format that was made famous by, or rather turned into an art form by Motown a long time ago. It was obviously the result of 45 RPM vinyl. It was probably also the result of very handy breaks in radio transmission in those times. So it's actually interesting that we're dragging this kind of habit along with us. And we're not really looking at the new digital landscape in terms of what it can do for us. I mean, for instance, if you think about Sgt. Pepper, the album was recorded on vinyl with a loop at the end, so it never ended unless someone physically took the record off the turntable. Now, when it was digitized, this loop could not be allowed to continue infinitely because basically the track would literally never end, so it had to be cut. So it changed the concept of that album. So when you change formats, it does affect the material. Of course, lots of people who are present here are going to say, well, hang on a second, you could write an app that would allow it to go on forever unless you hit something, etc. Well, exactly. So we're entering another landscape now where we can actually think about music and think about how music is presented. What does a track mean in terms of musical apps? So I think you'll find that increasingly as this show goes on, you'll find lots of people demoing apps that are doing just that. They're actually apps that are designed to either make music or work with music or inject music with another aspect. So this is a thing that we have to consider. And of course we were thinking, well, hang on a minute, why is it difficult to find a 30-second piece of production music? And of course, as you well know, lots of TV idents are iconic, even though they're short, so they are a great cultural cachet. They have great cultural cachet, so they should be present in our search systems, as well as something like Dark Side of the Moon, which is under current tagging systems really hard to describe, or a piece of Philip Glass music. So we felt, okay, how do we approach this problem? What we could do is look at music as a series of meaningful phrases, as a concatenation of phrases, which is effectively how music is built. So even if you have a piece of dance music, you will have channels that are fading in and out, and there are definite breaks, and there's definite rhythm in the way that the music is constructed. So this was a really interesting area. So let me show you what the results of this idea were. We thought, well, okay, we need to kind of imagine some case scenarios. If someone is a producer of film, video, doing music for gaming, for advertising, for any kind of creative industries, they may have thought in their heads, or I wish I could use like the kind of thing that you get from Pink Floyd Echoes, for instance. If you actually go into our system and put, let's say, Echoes, it will first BMAT, we'll ask him BMAT, we've now queried BMAT in Barcelona. They have returned and said, for disambiguation purposes, which echoes do you mean? So they've gone through over 3 million entries. And now they've returned a clip from Echoes. Okay. So this is the beginning of Echoes, we just hear a sonar, so it has that sort of mood. Now our system can actually listen to this clip. And this is a kind of standard clip that you get returned from most systems out there. And it can analyze it in real time. So you can actually look at what the mood and the feel of this clip is and what the sound does, and now dives into a very, very small library that we have compiled. And of course we have no Pink Floyd in it, we have nothing that we can think of matches Pink Floyd really, but what it's doing is giving us some alternatives from tracks that are in there. So this kind of thing, that, so you get the idea. So if you're actually in a production team and you actually need this clip and you need to find it fast, and you completely ran out of Final Cut Pro free clips, then you will really need to license something, and you need it fast. Usually in like creative agencies, this is a last-minute decision, and it's like, oh, what are you going to use with this piece? This is going to make quite a big change, quite a big difference to your workflow. So I mentioned Motown earlier, so we were playing with Aretha, and I think quite a few of our guys know this example because we discovered a new artist through this, so it was quite fun, so I'm going to show it to you. If we key in Aretha, Beamer very cleverly delivers all of the Aretha options. If we go for one of the Aretha numbers, so what it's now doing is listening to that bit, and now it's, this is why it takes that time. And now it will actually look into the library, what is vaguely in that space. You'll get things like this. I Will Survive, etc. So you carry on like this, and what we've managed to find is that down here we found an artist that sounded pretty good. We couldn't even actually read her surname. She's got a really difficult surname to spell. And we asked the library owner if he'd ever heard of this artist, and he said never heard of her. And we thought, hey, this is great. So if we're doing a film production, we want to inject a bit of Motown. We can't afford Motown. We want a new artist that maybe can do this for us. There she is in seconds. You can actually contact the publisher, and you can get her to do to participate in your film production. So what's nice about it, of course, is that you can go and check what this track is like. So you can go jump to the beginning. Are we playing? Oh yeah, sorry. So it starts exactly as you would expect, and you can kind of jump around and just carry on from there. You can sort of carry on investigating other tracks. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, this interface is being driven by technology called Solaris. It was written by Cyril Laurier, who's sitting over there, and myself. It's the result of 2 PhDs, Cyril. The result of 2 PhDs coming together, so basically 10 years of research between us. And what we wanted to do is create a system that will match this assumption that perhaps we need to divide music into meaningful phrases so we can search through anything. And we used automatic segmentation algorithms. We've created parameters for every single segment, every single musical phrase, and we matched them by mood, and we analyze the sound and match them by mood. So basically, by matching them by mood, we mean we created parameters that will account for a certain amount of emotional and cultural context, which is why it sounds similar. And of course, we wanted it to sound similar. So if I do sample a bit of Miles Davis here, Autumn Leaves, let me turn it up a bit, please. It's very quiet, Miles. Just a second. Yeah? Oh, it is very quiet. If you send that off, this is now matching from our library, so it's very quick, it doesn't need to analyze it. And you will get Sarah Vaughan's September Song, you will get a Deptford Autumnus. Interestingly enough, you may find it hard to read. Let me enlarge it for you. You have September Song, there you have Autumnus, and you have Autumn Leaves. Now our system hasn't got a clue about words. All it does, it analyzes all it does. I mean, it analyzes sound, and it analyzes a sound clip. So what it does, once the results have arrived, it says, well, what is that track? Give me the metadata back. And of course, we got all titles that are to do with autumn. So basically, we query it later a bit like Shazam does. He asks, what is it? So we've actually got all results that are that really put this in the same sort of mood. So even the words that are coming back are actually supporting the idea that all these things are related. And something else that we've done, if you could switch to the iPad, please. We're kind of doing this on the fly. What are we doing? Right, we were playing this morning at 5 in the morning with Cold Cut, because Matt Black, Cold Cut and co-founder of Ninja Tune, was jamming up with our hackers upstairs today, and tomorrow he's actually showing Ninja Jam for the first time ever. It's a new app by Ninja Tune. So if you're interested in that, come and see it. We're playing with some of his a really nice track, and we got it to match Tom York and stuff like that. But what I wanted to show you here is that you can go to your iTunes library, and I'm going to pick Hoppy Polla for Ed's sake, because Ed tells me that every time he goes to a creative art director and says, give me a track, and he says, Hoppy Polla Sigur Rós. So here's Hoppy Polla, and we are going to, can we turn it up a bit? Thank you. Okay. So you know how that starts. Let's send that off. And yeah, we're going to watch paint dry for a couple of seconds, because we are really listening to this in real time. I mean, it's not a canned demo. And there it goes. Way! I can see the man here. Some of the results here, which are nice and more. What else have we got? We've got Claire de Lune. So in this sort of intro, if you want this kind of piano intro that Hoppy Polla has, there it is. Most of these tracks are actually from someone who's standing right over there. Here's Momo. Tony, raise your hand. Tony Castells or Momo. Some of the artists here, like Adept Ode, which I mentioned earlier, who are a brilliant Dutch band, very high production value band, and Momo have offered their tracks for us for testing, so hence we have quite a lot of their catalogue in here. So basically, I think you get the idea that you can both discover new artists, and you can also match music very, very quickly, music that's available to you in sort of Getty Images style for whatever production you're doing. I must say also that I mentioned that we were playing with things at 5 in the morning. My team at Stromatolite have been doing all of this, and then there have been 3 people. Ariel Elkin, who's a hackcam coordinator, Alkis Papadakis, who's one of our colleagues down in the hub, and Maya Benainos, sorry Maya, who flew over from Barcelona to help us actually get the iPad thing out, because we were just way too busy. So thank you very much for those who have helped, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of this. There's a tremendous amount of great stuff coming up, and I hope you also join us here tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Michela, thanks very much.